Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, YouTubers. This is Jerry Diamond with How to Get Out of Babylon. Get yourself a shelter. And that is animal shelter, not people shelter. Okay, I'm going to back up here. Had one heck of a day. I feel like I'm doing like in the military, after you get into an engagement, you do an after action report. And that's what I'm doing here. Everything happened so fast and so hard. And it was such hard work that I'm just recuperating, and I hope I don't step into a hole because that would really hurt. Okay, so this is kind of an iconic, take a picture of this while it's still up. I mentioned it before, but we want to make a rocket stove. We're going to fire that off, and it's hollow on the other side. We'll shoot out there and shoot up in the air and have a lot of fun, and the kids will love it. But one of the things we wanted to do is do some fire control around it, and that's the bulk of what I've been doing today. That used to be kind of a road, but it's a better road now. Need to get some big rocks in there. There's big rocks in there, but Bill's gonna make that into we need a culvert is what we need, but ain't gonna happen now. We could put it in later. All right, so I need to speak up. I know I'm outside, even though I am using a headset. Who knows? So where I almost flipped the quad sideways and backwards when I had a load of rock, and it actually started to go over both ways, and that was rock, not wood. I forgot that. I was getting rock for the firewood shed, but it's now almost level, so we can come down out of the gate with the truck, tractor, whatever, when this is all finished. Needed to get it dried out a bit, but I'll get over there in a minute. But in the way were two stumps right on either side of the gate, right where Bill constantly needed to drive, and so he worked on one, and I cut a root with a Sawzall with a Carbide blade. Worked great. One way to get stumps out. And that is the vertical taproot on it. That was the small one. Chunk there. And then the big one is even bigger. It was probably a, I don't know, 20-inch diameter stump initially. But that big mess there on top, that was the bottom. And I had cut these roots, some of them with a Sawzall, chiseled through them. There's about 4 good-sized roots coming off of it. So I worked on those, digging until I could get the Sawzall in there. I didn't want to trash the blade anywhere. See, they say you can stick it in dirt and cut, but, you know, hey, there's rocks and sand, and it's going to ruin the teeth. So I cleared it the best I could, just a thin bit of dirt on it. So that's the big one. Finally pulled it out, yanked it out right at the last thing before we gave up for the day. So where this was a horrible, very steep slope coming out of there, it's less now, and he'll continually work on it. Once he gets on something, he don't quit like me. Once you start, don't stop. But yesterday he got this out and it was wet, and he got it started, and then he said, well, it's need to dry out a bit before I finish. Well, before I even got over here, he was on it. The tractor, I heard the tractor, I knew what he was doing. I knew he was. So when I got over, he was actually picking. He did a lot of this rock. Be nice if there weren't so many grasshoppers. Need more ants that work. Anyway, I did a lot of this. And then my friend John, the coronavirus is getting families together. Well, his son is here, and he went to get his children today. So we got 2 of John's grandsons, and the older one, Robert, is just great. I mean, he's brilliant, he's sharp, he's a good worker. He starts chugging and throwing big rocks that I didn't want to pick up. And a little kid, you know.